Hey guys, I'm Comire and I'm in the queue for the launch of the next big video game console. Hey, you know you did this whole different versions of you thing in the last two videos, right?
Yeah, we get it. You do visual effects. Do you think anyone really cares?
Look, hey, shut up! Because this is Start and Select and I want to talk about the art of the launch lineup. The Nintendo Switch has been repeatedly praised for its innovative concept and boundary-pushing technology from industry officials and gamers alike, which is an amazing feat for an unreleased console that's done less work for more applause than DJ Khaled. The games on the horizon for it feature ones that look like if the Mexican Wrestling Association had an equal opportunities program and a weird thing for landline telephone cords. As well as a number of Japanese game series is so reiterated they're either jumping through pipes they did 10 years ago or apparently finding new ideas from the Academy Awards / every gay cruise advert since the 90s. Between Fire Emblem Birthright and Conquest and Revelation, Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Wii U, Fire Emblem Heroes and smart devices, and all those characters in Smash Brothers, Fire Emblem Warriors will be so tapped out of ideas, the main menu will just be a white screen of Marth asking you directly who is your waifu and why is she shit. Now at the Nintendo Switch presentation there were 5 games confirmed to be coming out at launch. At the time of recording that number's gone up to 10 with a few more games coming out in Japan. But that's caused some concern amongst gamers over what's considered an underwhelming launch lineup for the high recommended retail price of $300. I mean, $400 is a very common price point for a video game console, so complaining about it is like moaning that the hot tub you bought during your midlife crisis is using up too much battery. But it's undeniable that Nintendo seem to be doing things slightly differently than they have before. Given the Switch now uses a paid online subscription service and Nintendo accounts will be functioning with smart devices, it could be argued that they're making decisions more in line with the other consoles. Like, they only just realised that, hey, maybe we actually do want to make some money. So what better place to learn from than how the other consoles started? Each time Microsoft launched a new console, it's like a soccer mum picking up her 5 kids from 6 different football games before realising they all plan to go to Benihana after touchdown. There's a lot of sports thrown at you, there's some crazy driving, and more often than not, a severe misunderstanding involving the Japanese. You see a new Xbox launches of around 20 titles. In the US, these would include a large number of sports and racing games, like that time when the original Xbox said they released not 1, but 2 NASCAR games and 2 NFL games at launch. Over here in Europe, we'll get similar titles, but with 1 or 2 more recognisable action games thrown in. You see, Microsoft are a Western company that know which games to publish for their audience, and because of it, they sell at least 1 million units within the first few weeks. Unfortunately, Microsoft have done worse at breaking into Asia than a 5-year-old of a phone bat. Across the board, their sales are so low in Japan, you'd think they were taking tips from the Sugar Babes How to Break America handbook. A standout moment in the Xbox's history was the release of the first Halo. That was a title that rocket jumped online play to a whole different level. Who doesn't remember running around like a maniac with an energy sword while the announcer spouted off every single kill streak like the X Factor voice of Tourette's? Good times. Good times. It's a great example of creating software that shows the distinctness of their console. The PlayStation 2 didn't really have games of online multiplayer, and although the Dreamcast had games like Phantasy Star Online, Quake 3 Arena, and Unreal Tournament, only like 7 people bought that thing, so it didn't really matter. Although, a word of advice. One thing that doesn't help your console launch, a massive DRM always online controversy. Avoid that if you can. Especially when your console is named something so dumb that it makes everyone feel that anger you feel when you see a music artist name their album after themselves, but it's not the first album. Pisses me right off. On the other hand, a Sony launch is like that kid at the after-school Benihana bragging to everyone about how he has so many friends. Every PlayStation has launched with at least 25 unique titles catered for every different region made by a range of game developers. This has only been possible by having more working relationships than your dodgy uncle that got you that DVD player for £7.50. You see, Sony have focused on making their development environment as easy as possible to work with, meaning games can easily be ported over to PlayStation. That way, every console launch is like a spoilt kid's Christmas, where you can get 2 or 3 main games and then a bunch of stocking fillers. And if that was Christmas every year for you, I apologise for calling you spoiled. But let's be honest, you kinda were. And the variety in a PlayStation launch is huge. Lots of big names and some lesser known punts, with everything from fighting games to racing games to RPGs to 8 different NBA titles. the PlayStation 4 had the fastest selling console launch ever due to the volume of high quality, impressive marketing, and it being the only Sony console to launch without a Ridge Racer game. I mean, I don't know if that last one has anything to do with it, I'm just pointing it out. A good console launch should make you genuinely consider becoming so broke you start to wonder if wearing the same Game of Thrones t-shirt every day could be your thing. I mean, check out these stats. Getting the launch lineup wrong is like failing the first impression. It's like starting a new job and asking when Stacey's baby is due just to find out she's not actually pregnant. It's like introducing the boyfriend to the parents and him blowing his nose on the family cat. It's like a straight guy accidentally catching a peek in his best mate's junk and then whispering quite loudly, "I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me." The companies also make a big deal out of certain games being exclusive to their system, as if there's a 100% guarantee you'll even want to play an Uncharted game or a Forza game or a Mario game, or that kids today don't already know how to download absolutely everything anyway. I think it's more useful to look out for which services are exclusive to the system. Be it Nintendo's soon-to-be portability and tightly controlled, although arguably less robust online network, or Microsoft's all-in-one home entertainment model and cross-platform compatibility of Windows 10, or Sony's larger library of games and increasing synergy with all of its products. But when you think about it, PC, mobile, they never had to deal with a console launch, did they? But like VR and the Ouya never stood a chance. Double standards, I say. So I think a good console launch involves having loads of different games catered to your audience that uses the unique features of the console itself. But maybe there's something I missed out. Maybe you have any other ideas. Chuck a comment down below or check me out on Twitter. And on that, thank you to all the Twitter users that submitted some of the weirder lines spread throughout this video. If it wasn't for you meddling kids, I wouldn't have had so much fun putting this together. So, once again, I've been Comire, this has been Start and Select. Thank you, and good night. So Dunsparce is a second generation Pokemon that is entitled the Land Snake Pokemon, even though I'm pretty sure 99.9% of snakes are on the land anyway.